Today we are going to be hitting you up with a couple of tips on how to choose your engagement photographer. This is Scott. You've probably seen him in a couple of my vlogs. This is my boyfriend. And we have done a bunch of shoots with a friend of ours, Rachel, and basically this is for her in a blast of series.
We'll link her down below, and most of the pictures you see are all her that she's taken of us. We're not engaged, but we did a fake engagement shoot so we can better talk about what to experience. And we've done a couple photography shoots. We know people who are engaged and done shoots, so we feel like we're pretty qualified to talk about it.
Yeah, so I think this is around 5 tips on choosing your photographer, so let's jump right in. Oftentimes when we're choosing our photographer, we have like a vision in mind. When it comes to choosing your vibe of photographer, if there are photos that you have in mind that you want and you want to look a certain way, choose a photographer that's already delivering that kind of mood.
We have photographer friends say this to us where a client will come to them and be like, I would love photos just like this, just like this, just like this, and it doesn't match their style.
Yeah.
You're just shooting yourself in the foot when you're doing that. Go for a photographer who does stuff like that. Don't try and force it with someone else, or it won't feel authentic, and it's just a bad foot to start off on.
And it's kind of weird too, because if you do that, then likely you'll get photos back. They may not be exactly what your vision was, not at their fault, because maybe that's something that they don't even notice, and then you're gonna wanna go through the editing process and maybe have to rebook.
With that in mind, if you have a mood board, we're probably going to talk about this in a bit, but Amanda does a great job. If she knows she wants to do a shoot, she makes a mood board. So you can share with your photographer and you can share with your partner what you'd really like shot-wise. And then everyone can be on the same page of, we can do these shots, we feel comfortable with these shots, let's go get them.
Yeah, once you have chosen your photographer, opening up that communication and basically showing them exactly what you want, because whether it's a relationship romantically, a friendship, or a transaction where it's someone you're working with, you have to tell them what you want, and that's how you're actually going to get what you want.
So if you don't know any photographers, you don't have any friends who've gotten engaged or married, so they don't have any network that you can utilize, how can you find a photographer?
You can creep them on social. You creep people every single day. Don't lie, you do it. I do it. You can basically creep through social. You can also use geotags, and you can even search photographers Toronto, photographers Hamilton, and then look at their social media. Dive deeper though after you do that, after you do find a couple photographers that you want to work with, because keeping in mind they are showing you the best of the best, and we will touch on that a little bit more in a second. But besides social media, another really great place that you can actually find photographers is looking at venues that you may be interested in having your wedding at. And on those venues, they're gonna have photos from photographers that have shot weddings there, and likelihood, if photographers shoot weddings, they also do engagement shoots.
So check out their social media, because they will obviously be posting pictures of those weddings. Creep it just through the geotag searching on Instagram, put the place in, and you're gonna see all these pictures that have been posted there. Click on that picture, click it so you can see who actually took the photo. That little tab will pop up. And that's such a great way to like pre-scout all these wedding photographers who clearly are employed, they're professional, they're getting work, and that's just a great way to find photographers in your area.
Yeah, and I will say too, below in the comments, we're gonna tag a bunch of our friends who are doing weddings, whether it be flowers, baking, or photography, and you can even find them there. Consider this a recommendation from a friend. So Scotty and I both did journalism programs, and we learned from doing those programs that there are also programs who do photography. So if you don't have a huge budget to hire a photographer, here's our tip.
Find a local college, find a local school that has a photography course or program, and you can contact the professors there and say, hey, is anyone looking to expand their portfolio? Would they be interested in working in some sort of like karma exchange where, look, we'll model for you, we'll be your couple, but can you do this for free or for a reduced rate? And you are gonna get people who are willing to do that for sure, because all photographers, when they're first starting out, they're trying to find more clients to build up their resume. Here's the thing though, you get what you pay for, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way.
Yeah, don't mean that in a disparaging way at all, because we know that students coming out of programs are absolutely killing it, but this is the other side of things. So our third kind of maybe consideration when it comes to hiring a wedding photographer is you get what you pay for, and you're paying for a service that someone went to school for. So even sometimes when it comes to creative work, when someone looks at me and they say, oh Amanda, like how much time will it take you to do this video? I'm thinking, okay, well it took me a lot of time to learn all those skills, like get the vibe that I do right, learn how to color, like all of these little things that come into it, shooting and then editing also like all in. Know that you're paying for a service and someone's professionalism.
Long short, don't be a cheapskate. Pay these people what they're worth. Just because they're making art doesn't mean it's frivolous. Pay them because they're a professional. And if you're using an amateur, just understand that they got other things in their life. That's why they can't make this a professional thing. So they might not be able to get back to you as quickly as you want. The edits they give you just might not be as good as you're expecting. Look, if you're comparing a professional photographer and what you want and giving that to an amateur photographer saying, I want this too.
Yeah.
Just be realistic.
Yeah, totally. If you are choosing a photographer and you have a couple that you are really interested in and you're like, okay, yeah, we've narrowed it down to our top 2, top 3, meet them first.
And now our photographer friends have said this is what they want to do too, because again, this is a two-way street. Everyone here wants to get along and have like a genuine connection, because if you don't have that, your photos are gonna look awkward, it's gonna feel uncomfortable. So the photographers we know, they love meeting their clients first because they wanna make sure that everyone gets along.
Everyone gets along, and then once they've met you, Scott, we were talking about this earlier, you can find that basis of commonality, and then that's just going to help the photographer when they're behind the camera talking to you and really like bringing out you and your emotions when you are in the shoot. You're gonna be that one step more comfortable just being silly and being yourself with your partner if you already know the person behind the lens.
Start to walk towards me. Scott, if you want to bob Dylan, Amanda, so just toss your arm around her. Perfect. And Amanda, you can reach up to grab his hand on that side, and you're just gonna like look at each other, have a conversation, walk towards me, and right past me.
Sure. Okay. Ready?
Oh yeah.
What a nice trip for us.
You come here often?
This is your first time getting engaged?
Yeah. You?
No.
No. Oh crap. All right.
And then the other thing too is when it comes to those social graces, say you absolutely fall in love with your engagement photographer and you want them to shoot your wedding. If you already understand that they have really great social graces and they kind of vibe with you and who your guests would be, you know that they're gonna do a really great job behind the lens in that scenario too, because they're just gonna be able to kind of corral people and catch them in those, you know, candid moments.
Ask to see the entirety of one of their engagement shoots. Like Amanda said earlier, they'll probably have a highlight some of their best pictures, obviously, on their social media. But you just want to make sure that every photo they do, because this is your engagement shoot, you want all of these photos to be great, you want to make sure they can match that entirely. What we're meaning is, maybe this person is only experienced shooting outside, maybe that's their thing, but you're really hoping for some inside shots, some more intimate shots. Make sure they can do it all, or at least make sure they can do the shots that you really desire.
And you really want that engagement shoot to stretch far. It's gonna be for your save the date, it's gonna be for little cards, thanking people for gifts and things like that. So if you actually see the full gamut of photos that people are shooting for another couple, you can see, oh wow, this person is definitely capturing every single thing that we need and more. Those detail shots that fit really good in the little photo album that you could be making with your journey with your partner.
What if you don't know what you should wear to an engagement shoot?
Well, we are actually going to be shooting a completely other video about what to wear to an engagement shoot, so I'm gonna link that up right above, and we'll see you in that next video. We have one last little disclaimer about knowing your rights though.
Yeah, this is interesting, and it's just simply make sure you have an agreement with your photographer about your rights with these photos once they're done. That is to say, could your photographer sell these to anyone? And then you might just see them on a billboard one day. I don't think it'll go to that length.
Girl, if I was on a billboard, I would be like, hey.
But you should know, what are my rights with these? Can I post all these everywhere? Do I have to post these with a watermark? Do I always have to tag you in them? Can I just throw this up on my social right away?
Am I gonna get raws? Am I gonna get only edited? What if I like love one of those photos and you don't edit that one?
So just make sure that you guys have looked at the fine print and checked everything over before you agree to use this photographer.
Yeah, and obviously, oftentimes that can just be an easy conversation based on that first meeting that you have that could actually help you decide on who you're gonna pick.
We hope you have a great engagement shoot.
Oh my God, congratulations!
Or a fake one like us.
Yeah.
So congratulations to us too.
So we've got more videos coming out. Scotty Shares, Amanda, Weldon at Below the Blonde. We're gonna have all of that linked below. We would love to follow along with your journey. So if you do get some engagement shots and you have a photographer that you love, leave where you are, not like your home address, but like leave Toronto, Hamilton, Burlington, Vancouver, the locator tag and that photographer, because maybe in the comments below you could help someone else find their photographer too.
Also, did we miss something super obvious?
Yeah.
Tell us below. We'd love to know and we'd love to highlight it so we can talk about it later.
We did it!
Boom!
Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Full batteries.
Full bats.
I'm rolling on this guy.
It's freaking bats. Like that girl.
Look at it's freaking bats.
Okay.
I'll be surrounded
You gotta
shooting.
make it fun
Oh,
here.
do I like it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a
Thank
real
God
bro.
we did this,
Holy
yeah.
shit. Oh my god.
Redo, sorry.